Time for another episode of the Joshcast. Well, starting even later today. Falling off my routine. Feeling bad about it already. Feeling the guilt. Feel the guilt. Watched the Dave Chappelle special. Said to myself, why even bother? I really enjoyed that special. It was quite intelligent. And it taught me that when I'm doing stand-up, I should be funny. And nothing. Funny. There we go. So I'm using that as an opportunity to beat myself up as well. I'm really accomplishing a lot, neurotically speaking. And it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet. But the thing that really struck me about it is that it was very clear what he was trying to say. It was clear what he was trying to say. And I feel that I don't know what I'm trying to say 90% of the time. Now, right now, here's the thing. I'm making a right turn. As I'm making a right turn, there's a lady crossing the street, and she's doing that thing where she's, walking a little bit faster to indicate to me, yes, I know you're trying to turn. And she was holding a book and a coffee cup, plastic coffee cup. So she's going to be killing the sea animals. And for some reason, something about her I was like, rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I was just like, idiot. Not a fan of this person. Never met her. No idea what she's like, but there's just something about hey, sorry. Oh, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, sorry. Now, the person I should really be angry with is myself, because I'm the one who's running late. But now it's her fault because she's in my way. But it's so odd how I will instantly choose to like people or not like people. On what? Is it even appearance? It's vibe. There's something about the vibe that was like, nope. Rejected. So when I go off saying that, Tinder is so shallow, maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe you can judge a book by its cover. Maybe, sometimes I wonder, maybe it's okay to judge a book by its cover, because frankly, are any of us really deep enough to have a book written about us? You don't need a book on me. I think a pamphlet is enough. At best. Not even a pamphlet, one of those double-sided postcards. Pretty much spells out what I am. If you get into a relationship with me, I think 6 months in, there's not going to be a major stunning revelation. Oh my God, he can lift weights. But I don't like that about myself. I don't like that I get irritated for no reason at people. For no reason. I don't like that. It's very... the word I was about to say was primitive, and I don't even know if that's the right... I don't even know if primitive is the right word, exactly. But I don't like that. I wish that I could instantly love all creatures, just by no matter who they are. That's who I want to be. I want to be the person that, no matter who you are, I love you unconditionally. Good or bad. It's like what Gandhi teaches. I want to be that, that person that, no matter what, the person that loves you unconditionally. It would help me if some of these, it would help me, for instance, if, and maybe there is a story about this. It would help me if there was a story about the Buddha at some point in the process, after he achieved enlightenment, not before, after he achieved enlightenment, where he's in line at the Coffee Bean and the person in front of him is trying to use the app and doesn't know how, and just, he doesn't say anything because he's the Buddha and he's enlightened and he's fine, but just for a brief second, the thought comes to his head, man, I wish I could use my flower power to destroy this person. Just to know, and he wouldn't, he never would, but just to know that he had that thought would be great. See, now I'm watching this person, who's not in front of me, but just watching this person get out of her car and go into I don't know, I think it's a dentistry place or something. And I don't feel the same kind of annoyance with her. If anything, I feel kind of sorry for her. She seems like that she's in that, it's morning, all right, let's do this. And like I feel compassion for her. But not the other one with the book and the coffee cup. Maybe it's a class thing. This person's going to work. The other person, I don't know where she was coming from, but she looked like she was on the way to go sun herself. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm jealous of what I see to be somebody with more money than I am. And you know what? That doesn't bother me. Like yes, I love all people, but rich people, is it okay to love them a little less? I mean, they're all right. They're doing fine. They don't need my love. Right? So now here's what I'm in my head about. I'm feeling good about how this podcast is going because I feel like I'm clearly articulating how I feel. And I'm worried that it came because I was inspired by Dave Chappelle. So now I feel like, well, am I even writing this, or is it really Dave Chappelle that's writing this? And am I just doing a bad version of Dave Chappelle? That's where my head is going now. And I just want to salute my head for finding a way to take anything I'm doing that feels good and just step on it. That is not Dave Chappelle. That right there, that is Snyder. That right there, that is a Snyder trait right there. Oh, I'm sorry, you're feeling joy? Let's just pull that back. Just a moment here. Feeling joy? Well, according to this Snyder contract that you've signed by being born, that is simply not going to happen. No, my friend. I'm sorry, who do you think you are? A non-Snyder? Nah. Blah, 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 blah. I love 80s cars. I love it. I love them. I think it's because I grew up in the 80s, and so maybe it's just pure nostalgia. But the 80s cars, is there anything better than 80s cars? Because I'm beginning to think that the design of a car, or the general design of cars, are a reflection of the times in which they were built. So, you've got the 40s, the 50s, the classic car, the Cadillacs, the big, huge fins, as a reflection of, American optimism and post-war optimism. I'm trying to think of a different word because I'm trying to vary my word choice. But post-war pride, maybe? And then in the 70s, I don't know. I just look at cars built in the 70s, and there's still big cars, but it feels like there's a little bit of we're in trouble. Like emotionally and psychologically. Yes, this is a big car, but it's not built well, and things are falling apart. Things are falling apart. And then you get the 80s. What can I say about the 80s that hasn't been said by Stranger Things? So this is where we can see the rise of imports. Smaller, more fuel-efficient cars dealing with the fuel crisis. So there's an efficiency look. Cars are pared down, simplified, the fins are gone. American cars sort of trying to keep up. Like the 80s Chevrolet Caprice, which was like the cop car in all the movies, is the perfect example. It's like, yeah, we're still trying to be a big car, but we're also trying to be economic, and we're somewhere in the middle. It's like watching a transformer mid-transformation. That's what that car looks like to me. But I remember when I was growing up, one of the kids I used to play with in the neighborhood, her mother drove a Toyota Celica, and the earlier version of that Toyota Celica, and I didn't know this for years, but the earlier version of that Toyota Celica is sort of, or maybe it was the Supra. It was one of those two. I think maybe, now that I think of it, maybe it was the Supra. That was what inspired the designers to design the car in the animated Inspector Gadget cartoon that was in the 80s and 90s. And I love that. His car, the Inspector Gadget Mobile, transformed from a minivan into a Toyota Supra. That is my favorite. That is phenomenal. I mean, talk about practicality. That'd be like watching a Transformers film, like a big Michael Bay film. You got Optimus Prime, the leader of the Transformers, and he transforms from a Dodge Aerostar to a Ford Escort. And Shia LaBeouf is looking at him going, why? And he's saying, fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency is the right of all sentient beings. I love that. I want more of that. I want more hero cars in movies that are practical. Feeling too good about myself now. Feeling too good. Got to take myself down a peg. Inner voice going, see, you're connected to what you're saying now. You're connected to what you're saying. And you're expressing it with your whole body. And now I feel like I sound like a theater teacher teaching in the woods, teaching a bunch of people in a cabin in the woods. You've got to express with your whole body. You've got to transform you've got to speak with your entire body. Not just your head. You've got to speak with your entire body. Although that does remind me of actor training, and the one thing I remember is when people would gesture with their heads, and I was one of those people. And even now I'm catching myself doing that, so I'm trying to relax so I'm not gesturing with my head, so that I'm gesturing with my entire body, and so I'm not wasting energy and destroying my neck in the process. And I can already feel a difference. But now the problem is I'm going into that actor voice that is still artificial. That's me just kind of forcing the actor voice instead of just talking normally and not thinking about it. Yes, that actor voice. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Horrible, horrible acting right there. Peeing's getting worse again. Probably drinking too much caffeine. I think that's the issue. I think even the decaf tea has this, so I should probably cut back on it again. Which is too bad, because I like drinking it. But what can you do? I had gluten-free bread and chicken soup with rice last night. And even that, I can't handle that, apparently. It's getting to the point, no matter what I eat, it's no good. So now I'm panicking and I'm thinking, is there a bigger problem here? Because it's, knock on wood, but I'm not in pain, but I just can't digest it. I just don't digest well anymore. Now you gotta eat fiber. That's what you gotta eat fiber. Not eating enough fiber. That's the problem. You're not eating enough fiber. I wonder if that is the problem. Am I at that age now where I have to eat fiber? Have we arrived there already? Is that it? Is that really the end? Because I always thought once I got to the age where I have to eat fiber, is there even a point? Is there even a point? Walgreens. It says, get your pneumonia shot. I didn't even know I needed a pneumonia shot. It's a hot one today, I'll tell you. It is a hot one today. Buena Vista Street. Nice view. Good view, right? That's what that means. Good View Street. Which sounds great in Spanish. Buena Vista. But in English, it's a good view. Like Buena Vista is what you say when you're looking out along all of the land that you own in rural Spain, and you're standing on your castle. Good view is what you say when you're staring out of an apartment that you can just barely afford and you're overlooking an esplanade, and it's not you saying good view, it's your parents saying good view, trying to make you feel okay with where you're at in life. That's a good view. Yeah, good view. That's the difference in language right there. I feel guilty that I feel good about this podcast. Good. Bring it back down. Bring it back down. Take that joy and stifle it. My friends, stifle it. Yes. What am I trying to say? That's what I feel like I've been missing a lot lately. What am I trying to say? We just all need to love each other. My request is, can I do it but from a respectable distance? Like, I love you. I do love you. And I want you to live your best life. And I want you to be happy. But with the exception of perhaps 1% of the people out there, let's not talk. I think that's what America does best at. That's how we've lost our way. Do whatever you want over there. Just don't talk to me. I think that's the essence of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men, it should be people, are created equal and are entitled to the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. AKA, leave us alone, and we want to leave each other alone, and only have to talk to each other when absolutely necessary. Only talk. Oh, Hitler's coming. All right, we got it. Now we got to talk to each other. Doggone it. Now we got to. All right, let's huddle. Hitler's defeated. Great. I never want to see you again. Until the next problem. Good. Nicely done. Do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. Off we go. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? I ask you. I put it to you. Wow, where did I go there for a second? I was pulling in. I think we're good. I think we did what we needed to do here. Feeling good.